Well, good morning. Good morning. This is Coffee with Carol. And today I want to talk about forgiveness because forgiving yourself and forgiving others is a necessary part of leadership, but it's really, really hard. I know it's really hard because forgiving myself, when I make a mistake or I say the wrong thing or I unintentionally add to a toxic situation or I simply lose my patience, it can be hard to forgive myself. I regret what I did. I spend time stewing about it and I feel awkward. And sometimes I've even felt a little bit embarrassed. Do you know what I mean? It can be hard to forgive ourselves and give ourselves grace in that moment of, I cannot believe I just did that, right? But eventually we move past the event because it's really no longer important in the grand scheme of things. But what about when someone else betrays your trust or says something hurtful when you're doing your absolute best? When you are working extra hours, giving more than you could ever give, caring more than you even really think is practical or rational. When you're treated with disrespect over and over again. When you're told that you're worthless or that you're not meeting the expectations of someone else. What if every single idea that you come up with, every thought, every suggestion is just rejected? What if people smile at your face and then talk about you behind your back? What do you do when this happens? Do you withdraw? Do you focus on how you're feeling? Do you want to run away? I know I remember myself saying things like, I just want to go to an island someplace where nobody knows me and I can start over again. Sometimes the pressure is so strong that you feel like you're going to break in a million pieces and that you'll never, ever, ever again regain your strength. And you say to yourself things like, anything and everything, anything is better than this. For a leader, forgiveness is as necessary as breathing. Forgiving people for their shortcomings is probably the toughest job that we have as leaders. When we think about Jesus dying on the cross after he'd been beaten, rejected, spit on, attacked, hated, he said, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. So stepping up, setting your feelings aside, and forgiving others is a key part of developing yourself as a leader. Chances are, before the situation happened, whatever the situation is, you admired, you cared about, and you valued that other person or those individuals. And that's why it hurts so bad. Why then would you define that person based on the offense, based on the mistake, based on the situation? Why would you define the entire situation based on that one event? Couldn't you rather could you rather focus on the positive attributes rather than the negative action? Forgiveness is never, ever, ever about the other person or the other, the other people. Forgiveness is always for you. Consider for a minute that you may be the only Bible that someone reads. And they're reading it through your actions. So do you want them to see anger and resentment and frustration and hurt? Or would you rather they see peace and gentleness and self-control? Forgiveness softens your heart and strengthens your character. We develop rhinoceros skin. We learn that when we're criticized, when we're rejected, when we're talked about, that we're out front. We must be in front. We must be exuding or doing something that is making someone else feel a little bit insecure. We're doing something that's making someone feel a little unsure of themselves. And when someone feels challenged or inferior, or they lack that self-esteem, the easiest thing for them to do to feel better is to try to pull the leader down, to pull them down to their level. So as a leader, you have to stand strong and you have to be confident and consistent in your thoughts and your actions. And you can't allow the enemy's sharp tongue or their negative attitude to permeate your skin. Forgive them, Father. They don't know what they're doing. Strengthen me, Lord, through your word. Soften my heart to give undeserved grace, and at the same time, protect it. Protect it with the biggest and strongest wall that there can be. When we turn to God instead of our feelings, when we forgive when we'd rather flee, and we consistently breathe faith, hope, and confidence into another person, we please God. And we step into greater blessings. God does the how and you do the do. Make forgiveness a daily ritual, something that you do all the time, just like breathing. Again, God does the how, you do the do. Make it a great day.